Okay guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to create part number 5, the hinge bracket. Now before we get started on this one, I think it looks like a rubber ducky. This is in inches, so I'll go ahead and create a standard IPT, and we are going to be creating a drawing on the XY plane. I'm going to start with a circle that has a diameter or a radius of 0.62 times 2 to give us the diameter. From here, I can go ahead and start drawing my lines. Once you have everything drawn, we can go ahead and add our constraints to make sure that this stays in its proper location. The first thing I need to add is the tangent constraint to lock this line in with our circle. And then now I can start adding dimensions. The first dimension I want to add is this one on the bottom, that is 0.5. And from here to the center of the circle, that is 1. I then want to add from the center of the circle to the left edge, this is 2.2. This line or this section here is 0.62. Here, 0.1, 1, and then this line right here is 0.26. Once you have all that, and if it's not connecting, go ahead and extend that line to make sure that it connects. We need to go ahead and add a few more dimensions, so I'm going to grab this line and move it back this way, and this is going to be 0.12 from the center, and this has an angle of 60. Our overall dimension from left to right is 3.3. The last thing we need to add is a circle right here in the middle. To me, that represents the eye of the rubber duck, and this has a dimension of 0.5. Once you have that, go ahead and extrude everything by 2.76. Rotate it so you're looking at the front, and then rotate it to the top so we're seeing it as so. Click on this face and create a sketch there. Project your geometry, and the first thing I want to add is a line like this. The second thing I want to add is a rectangle up here like so, and the last thing I want to add is another line like this. Let's go ahead and dimension these. This rectangle needs to be 1.26 and 0.26 away from the edge. This line has an angle of 45 and a distance of 0.38. The same with this line, an angle of 45 and a distance of 0.38. We need to add some circles, so I'm just going to go ahead and randomly place those. I'm going to make them equal with each other and then line them up so that they are vertically in line with each other, and then now I can go ahead and dimension them. From the bottom line to the middle of the first circle, that is 0.62. From center to center, that is 1.26. They are 0.5 away from the right line, the left-hand line, and each of these circles has a diameter of 0.38. Once you have that, go ahead and finish your sketch. Go to extrude and select each and every one of these things that we just created. Make sure that you change it to cut oops, and that we're cutting everything out. Create a new sketch on this face right here. And we are just going to create a random rectangle like so. This rectangle's width is 1 inch and is 1.12 inches away from the back face. Make sure that your rectangle overextends past your actual part because we are going to be cutting things away. So go ahead and click on extrude. And then instead of entering a distance, we're going to click on this button that says 2 and choose this surface back here. Inventor knows that we want to cut it out and say OK. Now we can go ahead and add our last cutout, which will happen here. Right click, slice graphics, project your geometry, and we are going to create a circle that has a radius of 0.8, and we're going to multiply that times 2 to give us a diameter of 1.6, and we are going to cut this out. Make sure you select the entire circle, and we are cutting this out to this surface. Oh, make sure you select cut, and we're cutting that out. We do need to add some fillets and some chamfers. The first fillet that we're going to add is going to happen here and here and has a radius of 0.2. And the chamfer that we're adding, the chamfer just means that it is a 45-degree cut. And since it doesn't have any information, we're going to be choosing this back face and leave it at default 1.125 and click OK. And these holes are not just regular holes, they are counter bores. So we're going to switch over to a counter bore, select here on that face, select our concentric surface, and change the size of our counter bore to 0.56, depth of 0.25, and the bottom number should be 0.38. And click on the plus sign, and the same thing for this other hole, and say OK. And we are done with this part. So go ahead and save this. Go ahead and create your title block and add your front view, your side view, as well as your top view. Once you have those three views, add your center marks here, here, and that is it. It is your responsibility to add the remaining dimensions as well as the changing of the drawing name. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.